Everyone is talking about the Milo Winter drama. We've been talking about this for months. The accusations, the possibly wealthy family, the Hunger Games editor. But honestly, watching that story unfold gave me the wildest sense of deja vu. We've seen this before, right? It reminded me of a story from over a decade ago, a story about the original manufactured child prodigy. And wow, this could be a Netflix documentary. I mean, buckle up. You're not ready for this. I did so much research and it was hard because a lot of this is scrubbed from the internet. But I found it for you and I'm going to give you an update on where everything is now. You're going to be blown away. Buckle up. If you're anything like me, this story is going to absolutely shock you if you haven't heard it before. And if you've heard it before, we're revisiting it and I'm going to give you an update on where everything is now because things have changed in a decade. Once upon a time, in the early 2000s, there was a 14-year-old girl in Florida whose parents didn't just buy her career, they bought her movie trailers, a movie, and an army of fake accounts. They just tried their absolute best to make her books famous. You might have forgotten her name, or maybe you've just never heard it until today. But today we are reopening the case file on Gloria Tesch and the Maradonia disaster. We're going to look at how they tried to scam the publishing world and answer the big question, where is she now? If you were online in the early 2010s, Gloria Tesch was unavoidable. Her face was plastered across the internet. Her book trailers played before actual movies in theaters. Her parents, reportedly wealthy entrepreneurs, self-published her debut novel when she was 14 years old, Maradonia and the Seven Bridges. But they didn't market it as a self-published debut. They marketed it as the arrival of an absolute genius. They claimed she was the world's youngest novelist, a lie that was easily debunked by a 5-second Google search. But facts didn't matter. They were trying to force a viral moment before viral was even normal. I want to start this story by talking about a weird parade of Yahoo Answers posts asking who is the youngest author, with the original poster quickly responding to their own answer. Well, the amazing 14-year-old Gloria Tesch, obviously. Don't you know? She's amazing. Look at this website. Eventually, these were blocked on Yahoo Answers. Also, they added a little detail to the website about Gloria being a valedictorian and giving a riveting speech to hundreds of people, but Gloria was homeschooled, and no, there's no record of her ever being a valedictorian. From the very beginning of this situation, the parents were doing everything they could to make their daughter look as fantastic and crazy amazing as possible. So first of all, was the book any good? Is probably what you're wondering. All these books that this young author was writing. In short, no. It was exactly what you would expect a rough draft written by a child to be. It was full of plot holes, tense changes, bizarre dialogue, grammar issues, and that is fine. Kids write stories. They write bad stories and good stories. That's how they learn. The scam here isn't that a child wrote a book. The scam was that the adults in the room packaged this unpolished draft, slapped a price tag on it, and sold it to the world as the next Harry Potter. They set their daughter up for failure by refusing to let her be a beginner. They never gave her the chance to walk before she could run. They never put her through any specialized, classes for writing. They actually took her out of school. They were so excited to have, the next Harry Potter that they just didn't let their daughter even learn to write. So let's take a quick look at some of the writing. Now, I'm not going to get into the specifics of why this isn't top tier writing. I'll just allow you to make your own judgments. But again, this was a kid's story. The book was unedited and riddled with spelling mistakes and grammar issues and so many problems. But this was put out into the world as the best book of the century, and she was painted as a child prodigy. When the internet pointed out that the book wasn't good, things got ugly. This is where the story gets a little dark. Well, starts to get dark. Don't worry, it gets darker. Suddenly, Amazon was flooded with 5-star reviews from accounts that all sounded the same. Critics were accused of being jealous haters. The family allegedly issued DMCA takedowns against YouTubers who gave negative reviews or who spoke negatively about the whole situation in general. They tried to scrub the internet of criticism, labeling legitimate literary critique as cyberbullying. Sound familiar? It's the exact same playbook we see today with modern influencer authors. Tesch walked so Milo Winter could run. Not only that, Gloria, who was a kid at the time, responded to negative reviews online with incredibly insane language. Let's take a look and just be aware this gets really offensive. Now, pause to read, but I'm not going to read it out loud here. Just to be very clear, this was all posted by a kid no older than 15 years old. The intent here isn't to cancel her for writing all of this. I think at this point in Gloria's life, it's her parents that were to blame for how Gloria was acting, for reasons that will soon become very clear, and we'll get into all of that. But then around this time, Gloria also posted a video under the YouTube channel Hot Russian 101. Some kind of girl fight video was posted here. This was flagged, taken down soon after, but I'm not sure what the intent here was. A lot of people are saying this was posted around the time that she was posting all of these strange comments everywhere. I think it was meant to intimidate people that were coming after her. There's also a picture here that she posted saying, you can read the glasses. But basically, she was against the haters at this point. But she's a kid. We need to keep that kind of, in perspective. While all of this was happening, Gloria's family began updating their website with news of plans, and your mind is gonna be blown. But they started updating the website with plans for a Maradonia theme park. They had already scoped out land for it. They unveiled the plan for this when Gloria was interviewed on a local radio station. And let's listen to that.
Did you know that Maradonia will be a Maradonia adventure park one day?
Oh, now that's
Is that what you have
big.
planned?
I have a concept for 9 different novels. So it will be more than just 3 books. But the Maradonia Adventure Park, we're planning it to be a little bit north of Tampa.
Yeah.
So around the Wiki Wachi area.
Okay.
So
Cool.
That's great.
It's still in the first part of the development. So
Sure.
I can't tell the
No,
How
no,
exciting she is.
yeah.
And wow, not only was there going to be a theme park, but there was also going to be a movie. They released a movie trailer soon after that was, well, just crazy. Here's the movie announcement, and no, I'm not kidding. This is what they put out into the world as the announcement of the movie. There was just lots of weird copyrighted stuff all over this announcement. Also, they announced this through the book trailer, which I have to play for you now. It's a few minutes long. I need you to buckle up. And again, this is all staged and paid for by the parents. It's a book trailer that they put out on their website to basically promote the new Maradonia books. Please watch this.
Hello and welcome to Celebrity Soup. Today we're serving up a hot dish of hysteria. So what's on the menu?
They never end.
2 words, Gloria Tesch.
My daughter's 10, and actually this is one of the only books I can get her to read. She is so excited about this book and author.
She signed my books. See?
If you haven't heard, Gloria Tesch is the world's youngest novelist. At the age of 15, she has already written 8 novels. So how are her books doing, you ask?
It's amazing. We can't even keep the books on the shelves. They're flying out of here like nothing.
So what's the problem with that? Most people would say that's a good thing.
You know, despite the demand for her books, the publisher only prints a finite amount, and when they're sold out, they're gone. And that's not just here, that's all over the country.
So what's in the books themselves that makes them so appealing?
For me, it was the characters. My favorite characters are Maya and Joey.
Maya! Crassus, the demon apostle, is following us!
Joey, I'm afraid!
Let's go!
You fall in love with them. You can't help it.
Some people are even asking for autographs in the most precarious of places. Some people are even coming out dressed as characters from the books.
King Astrodulus? Where are you? I am here to kill you. Take your land and your head.
You have killed many kings, but today is not your day.
It's a myriad of a modern-day fantasy that completely takes you out of your element.
Why have we been brought into this totally different world?
I don't know, Joey. But I believe everything happens for a reason.
It's a fascinating book. She's a very creative writer. I wonder where she gets those ideas from.
And these people have been sitting here for almost 2.5 hours, and they're still in line trying to get their autographs. Unbelievable. It's a great book.
So, what's next for the world's youngest novelist? You guessed it, motion pictures. Moguls from New York to Hollywood are weighing in, and I am told there are offers already on the table.
These just came in for you.
This is what you bring me? This is garbage. Can't you see I'm busy? Get the hell out of my office. "15 years old, 6 books, 2 screenplays? This kid's a billion-dollar industry."
Let the adventure begin.
Oh my God. Okay. If I had to watch that, all of you have to watch it too. Okay. So the movie was supposed to be completed in 2011. In 2011, it was discovered that the director of the movie was replaced with a different director. Then it was discovered that the rest of the involved crew all disappeared. Later, we found out it was because no one was being paid. This came apparent later when cast and crew made comments on social media about how allegedly nobody was paid for this movie. There was also an Indiegogo campaign where almost all the donors were Gloria. They realized people could see this, and then they quickly made all the names anonymous. At some point, Gary, Gloria's dad, who also goes by Gunter, so he's German, so his name is Gunter, but he goes by Gary, actually, chased down some people to try to get some investors for the movie. He mentioned at the time that he spent around $800,000 on this movie. Yes. That's almost $1 million, everybody. Ridiculous. Let's watch an unedited clip from that movie, which later became available on YouTube in 2016. And I'm saying unedited because I didn't change anything about this. This is how the movie was created. Let's watch.
Do you hear me? 2 children will arrive in your land, and these children will show you your limitations.
We will conquer the whole world! My followers will fight you for eternities! Yeah! We will kill these children!
So this movie released in one small theater in Florida for one showing only. The people who attended were all the cast and crew. It makes me feel kind of bad for them, actually pretty bad for them, because we know now that not many of them, if any of them, were actually paid for their work. So during all of this, the family also made some attempts to make Gloria famous in other ways. For example, Gloria started a modeling career, a Christian rock career, and a rap career. Yes, you heard that right. I'm gonna play a little snippet of this rap music, and I'm very sorry in advance, but I need you to listen to this. It's short, don't worry.
Weekend got me wild night. That's when I stopped being polite. Haters sound the same shit but a different name. If I need it, I'll go get it. If you want it, you can have it. Keep my smile looking good and my haters looking
I hope you're okay after listening to that. And we're back. It was clear that the family was doing everything in their power to make Gloria famous and to somehow bring in money. And what's strange is that nobody knew what was happening for a long time until some information came out of the woodwork. So someone commented somewhere online, someone who lived in their neighborhood talked about how the family couldn't pay their mortgage and then kept filing for bankruptcy. They bought a house in Florida in 2006 for $416,000, but defaulted on the mortgage in less than a year. Then the bank foreclosed in 2007, and then the foreclosure sale was canceled when Gunter, or Gary, filed his first bankruptcy petition. Then he would proceed to file 6 more times while keeping the ruse the entire time that they had this beautiful home. But of course, the courts caught up on this and they were banned from filing for 2 years when the bank finally foreclosed on the house. Eventually. The family wasn't as rich as they were pretending to be. They were just putting out the fairy tale story that they were all successful, but it was just all pretend. I guess they were trying to fake it till they made it or something. I don't know what the clear reasoning for this. I just think they wanted to make Gloria famous, and this was just part of that. All family resources were put behind making Gloria famous to pay the bills, which is upsetting because we're talking about a child here. So after this, things took a deeply disturbing turn. So I'm going to ask you to skip ahead to this timestamp if you are sensitive to topics about abuse. So in 2012, there was a court case where Gary was accused of domestic battery. In 2011, there were a few court records where Gary filed restraining orders against his wife, Marina, Gloria's mom. Eventually, he was granted a temporary injunction, which was extended a few times. We don't have much information besides these court filings in either way. Between all of this and the issues with the house, Gloria was not growing up in a stable situation. These parents were grasping at her to make money. I think they wanted her to be successful so badly, they were willing to do almost anything. She was pulled out of school, raised by scammers, pushed into doing all of this. She was just a child when all of this was happening. I have to keep mentioning that because when all of this was happening in the early 2000s, no one knew about all of this behind the scenes stuff. And so they were just looking at this kid and saying, what a stupid rich kid. They didn't understand, I think, all of the background, which when this came out later, I think people were like, wow, this makes a lot more sense. But it's important to keep the fact that she was a child during all of this in perspective when analyzing all of this and what comes next. So I'm sure you're thinking, where are they now? Where's the family? Well, Gary passed away. But I want to focus on Gloria and where Gloria is. So after the money stopped burning and the dust settled, what happened? Did Gloria ever write that masterpiece? So Gloria Tesch is actually still around. She has rebranded multiple times, but she now goes by Sophia Nova. In 2020, she released The Secret of Moon Lake, and also in 2024, she released Maradonia and the Guardians of the Portal. This is where Maradonia just got brought back into the world, is in 2024 with that book. Book covers are much improved over the original books, in my opinion. The writing, while certainly better than her original books, don't seem to be entirely groundbreaking. However, people seem to really like them. You can peek inside the books on Amazon and take a look, for yourself if you're interested to see how they are. So she eventually did come back to the world of Maradonia, but it sounds like she's doing this on her own. And that's a question mark. We don't really know. The fascinating thing is that she never gave up on her dream, if this was indeed her dream and not just her parents' dream, but she also never seemingly escaped the bubble her parents built. The Maradonia website is a digital ghost town now. It's a relic of a time when you thought you could buy fame with a credit card and fake it till you make it. The Maradonia saga is the ultimate cautionary tale. Money can make crappy movies, but it cannot buy talent. And it certainly can't buy an audience's respect. Oh, and don't force a child to become a prodigy to bring home the bacon. I find that to be the most offensive part of this whole situation, is that the parents seem to be just relying on Gloria to basically make all the money and do everything. And a lot of people, like I said earlier, didn't know about all of that happening and just looked at this kid and we're like, she's delusional. But I don't really think it was the kid, okay? I think she was growing up in an incredibly rocky home, and this was being forced on her. And it's interesting that she published this book, but it appears to be pretty different than the books from the past, and at least a lot better. I don't think it's, fantastic literary, novel of the decade, but I'm glad that she wrote it. If this is indeed her dream to write, that is kind of cool, in my opinion, that it worked out for her. And if you want to dive into this more, I'll link a fantastic video in the description with a lot more details about this whole situation. Sailor Sloth posted a video 3 years ago, and it is incredibly entertaining. I don't know about you guys, but parts of this, including watching like the movie, made me laugh out loud. And also Sailor Sloth has amazing commentary throughout the whole thing. So I highly recommend you go check out that. There's a lot more to the story. There's also a separate movie deal that went wrong that never came to be. But if you want more details, feel free to check out that video from Sailor Sloth. And let me know in the comments if you remember hearing about all of this years ago, or if this is your first time hearing about the Maradonia madness. I'm filming something really crazy for next week, so just make sure you're subscribed. I appreciate you so incredibly much. Thank you so much for subscribing, commenting, liking, whatever you want to do. Let me know what you think about this video. I think this should be a Netflix documentary, and I'm shocked that it's not already. What do you think? Are you like blown away by all of this? And it just kept getting crazier and crazier. Thank you so much for hanging out. I really appreciate it, and I'll talk to you later.